Good morning, boys and girls. It's your boy Travez. Here I am reporting to you on my 10th or 11th week here in the 16-week course program at the San Diego Code School. I started this program at the end of February, or kind of middle of February, and I've progressed slow and fast in subjects. Getting towards the end of the core program, probably have like 2 or 3 weeks before we move into our little sprints, a little small sprint with each other, and then one for an internship with a local company. Pretty nervous about that, but we've been doing mob programming and working as a team and developing a project on the front end and the back end. And man, I have come a far way from when I first started this stuff. I'm going to tell you, okay, so being this my 10th or 11th week, the challenge I've come through, besides like my doubt in understanding React, I overcame that. I mean, I know it a little bit better. I mean, obviously with the reading and the studying and then just hands on the keyboard, I've worked through that. Not the smartest guy, but I'm figuring it out. I had to venture from that into doing database work and back-end work. And actually before that, I took all my React projects, pushed them up into what they call Heroku from my Git repository, and then added another piece on top of that, which is called Circle CI. So what that does, it kind of looks at your code and makes sure that it's working, and reassures you. That says, hey, before I push this up to Heroku, before it's live, let's see if anything is failing with your tests. So I learned how to write some tests with in Chai and Mocha, which are some packages inside of Node. And took those tests, double-checked my projects. Some of them were really broken, so I had to go back through my React projects, like through my very simple to-do app, correct that, fix those, send them through Circle CI. As I push them up to my repository with the fixed solutions, and then up to Heroku, and now they're on the web and they're live. I was able to crank through it so fast once I kind of, have been looking at these tests and seeing what I need to fix and able to read them better. It helped a lot. Like really, like writing the test helped me look at code so much differently. And it just, every little step has just been getting me further and further along. My hands on the keyboard more, going through that, just, it's the only way I can tell you guys how to do this stuff. Like, that's my biggest piece of advice to anybody wanting to do coding, is the only thing you can do is be on a keyboard. It's like me with welding and machining and all the type of fabricating and designing. You can only do it by being live in the moment. Excuse me, a little parched right here. The challenge I overcame this week besides that would be the back end stuff. Now, when it comes to database, look, rad job, cool, I'll do it, I love it, fascinating, rad stuff. You need to have that to be like the backbone, but not my favorite, but it's enjoyable. I guess I'd say I'm kind of like we're like this, going through SQL, MySQL, SQL, NoSQL, such as MongoDB, Redis, learning all these different little pieces and then making those work together and making these queries, which is what it's all about, to these databases, was a challenge to me because the syntax is kind of similar but a little bit different. But once you see it, you're like, okay, I get it. But then you have to set up the way you go out and grab these queries in an object format and stuff like that. So I'd say my challenges was that. I overcame that a little bit. I'm still a little fuzzy, but I'll get there. When I went to this San Diego, we're building our tech community, and we're building this ecosystem to just help each other out and help lift up everybody. And I've been going to this San Diego Tech Hub. I went to my second one, and there were these guys sitting there, and one dude was wearing like a MongoDB shirt, and I went up to him and I was like, hey, you do Mongo, dog? And he's like, no, I got this shirt from my last job. We do GraphQL here. And I was like, oh, I just started reading about that day. And so I asked him some questions, and he gave me some good tips on what to look for and what to look out for. And there was another gentleman who wasn't wearing any shoes. He was a principal engineer there at where this place was hosted, which was Walmart Labs here in San Diego. And I had asked him all the questions that I've been learning from Mike. And I mean, Mike is a genius, you guys. All you do is listen to him, do what he says. Don't go outside the curriculum. I mean, you can't. I do go outside the curriculum because there's certain things that like are explained to me that the way my brain works. It not just by reading. I have to see how people do things because I'm a very kinetic visual person. So, I talked to this guy and he was like, yeah, man, whiteboarding, look, they're going to ask you these whiteboarding questions when you go to do an interview. Now, it's not about if you pass or fail. It's about how you look at a project and break it down into its small parts and then bring that full circle and ask questions. And you know me, I ask all the questions because I'm very curious and I want to know all the things. So that was really delightful to hear that like everything I've been learning from Mike was just reassured by a gentleman that works in the industry. And I mean, I've come so far from where I was at to where I am now. Like I'm still, hey, look, the more you know, the more you don't know, okay? But Mike is giving all of us the keys to the Lamborghini. And, just about how much you want to take that on. And I mean, there's times I've like gone through stuff so quick that I've been like, whoa, better pump the brakes and come back. And I've gone back through it, but just to make sure that I had it right. And, I can't thank these dudes enough. I can't thank Margaret and Mike enough for this opportunity. And, these next couple of weeks when I wrap up the core, we'll see if I'm going to pass or fail or keep on going or I'm going to be cut. And then, then I have to put my boots on and get ready when I start working with my group of people. Besides the mob programming that we do, which I recommend to everybody. If you want to learn how to code with your friends, sit around and come up with a project and just sit there and work on it together because you can see how they think, you see how you think, you break down the problems, you come up with solutions, you go from there. But that's all I recommend you guys is just get on the keyboard, do that, believe in the program, have your positive mental attitude because once you have that attitude, sky's the limit, baby. And, hopefully when this program's wrapped up and I've got a good job, I've got a nice automobile, maybe I'll get myself a little FXR, treat daddy. We'll see how it goes. Well, I love you guys and, never stop learning and just push through. I know it's hard and you hit walls, but that's what's expected. You're learning a new language and you punch through it like the Kool-Aid man and you're like, yeah, you make it happen. So, all right, guys, bijou.